like a light. Suddenly I thought this can't be right. I should be driving in some flashy wheels. If I the car I pick up the birds, then I'd know just exactly how it feels. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. So I took a job to get the cash required. They took up the mornings, it soon got me by. So I thought that I would take a climb. Can I stand the place? Got egg on my face. Night time coffee, I must have hide my face. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Dropped my torch then, I shot out the door. Who do you think was standing there? Yes, it was the law. Hello sunshine, what's all this then? Now I'm in a prison cell, my crime's horrible. Don't think I'd be there if I lived that car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Walking down the road staring at her light. Suddenly I thought this can't be right. I should be driving in some flashy wheels. If I the car I'd pick up the birds, then I'd know just exactly how it feels. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car. Someone else's, someone else's, someone else's, someone else's car.
Another edition of Who's Who from CFNY-FM. I think a most interesting program for you today because we have a conversation with Count Steve and Jack from Rude Boy. That's what happened after the Villains. And from there we move along to a conversation we held just the other week with Tav and Jim and Ron Miller, to name but a few, of a group called Panther Burns from down south. And we'll wrap things up this afternoon with a charming conversation we held with a fellow called Vinnie Riley. He is the driving force behind Der Rutti column that played just a week ago at the Rivoli. I think you're going to like this one, so sit back, and we'll get right back to Count Steve from Rude Boy after this. With us from Rude Boy. Tell me about Rude Boy sprung out of the ashes of the Villains.
Yeah, we're a new band. I'm the only guy from the Villains, the singer, and the rest is all new guys. We're a six-piece, high-energy original ska band.
What was the? This is, I suppose, we could look at it like another refugee from England. Do you like being seen as that?
I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't mind being seen as anything, you know.
Yeah, tell me about.
Come and see us.
Because the last time I talked, I forget whether I talked to you when I spoke with the Villains. I'm sure that we probably did have words, but we talked about how difficult it was to make a buck over them.
Yeah, well, this band now, Rude Boy, it's a Canadian band, you know. We're outnumbered now. Most of the guys are Canadian anyway, you know. So
you have 1, 2, 3 people from Toronto in the band?
Yeah, it's 3 people. It's Humpty Dumpty, he's a guitar player. Johnny James and Biffo, the keyboard player.
Jack, where do you come in on the scene?
I'm from Amsterdam, Holland.
From Amsterdam. Yeah. Are you a native of Holland then?
Oh yeah, I'm a native of Holland. I used to live in England, Holland. I used to tour Europe.
and I came here about 7 months ago.
There are some really hot scenes in Holland, are there not?
Yeah, I used to be touring and recording with a band which was part of Herman Brood, Nina Hagen, and Jim Capanola.
Cha Cha show here in Town. Did
That's
you
it.
see that? Did you?
Oh, I've seen it in Holland, you know.
But the club situation in that country is really superior, I hear.
It's really great, you know. There's hundreds of clubs there. Mind you, Holland is like the size of Lake Ontario, and 14 million people live there. So you get millions of clubs. It's more or less the extension of the English London pub scene. All the English bands tour in Holland, and then they do the rest of Europe, more or less.
Why do you suppose that club situation is so entrenched or so healthy in Holland?
Because there's a lot of people there, you know.
Okay.
There's just and music on the radio. You get, like in England, you get one radio station which covers the whole country, and it's mainly new wave and all the new music from England. You know, it's Holland and England is more or less the same.
I'm sure if you and I got off on a tangent about Holland, we could spend the rest of the night. But we are talking about Rude Boy. You're about to do a spring tour of Canada. That will what is it, coast to coast?
Yeah, we're starting off in Victoria, British Columbia, in about 4 weeks' time. And then we're heading east, you know, through the Rockies and the prairies, back to Toronto. And then we're going east, or at this point in time, we're going east as far as Halifax. We might be going over to Newfoundland, you know, St. John's, but we're not sure about that.
It'd be really interesting to see how well you're received in some of the eastern, have you?
Yeah, been there before, and they're right into the music, they're right into ska.
I'm really glad
It's good.
to hear that.
Yeah, so that's going to take us about 8 weeks, and then by that time we have to do some recording.
Yeah, I was going to ask, that was going to be my next question. This is a man who is used to interviews. Yeah, what are you doing in terms of recording?
Well, first of all, we're going to do something off our own back. We're going to record it and press it and distribute ourselves. A 4-song or a 6-song EP. You know, something we can
What are you
do
going to
best.
have on? Do you know what you're going to have on?
No, we're just throwing a few ideas around at the moment, but we're going to record it out in Vancouver and put it out ourselves.
You've given me a tape that was recorded, I think, the first gig you did back in, what was it, Kingston?
In Kingston. We've only, so far, the band has only played about 10, 12 gigs, you know.
I'm really
the
amazed.
demo tape I gave you, that was on the third night that we played. That was in Kingston.
Yeah.
And that's the third night we played. So.
Well, I had to comment on the tape because I get a lot of tapes that are taken off the floor from bands, and they say, well, this will just give you a brief idea. But this tape, I've been driving around in my car for the last 2 days and thoroughly enjoying it. As a matter of fact, it'll be this tape that we play on this particular show, but I'm really quite pleased with it.
Good, yeah, good, yeah. We were glad about it, you know.
Well, for us, it was for two reasons, you know, like to have a demo to present to the radio as well, but also it was the very first time we could actually hear what we sound like.
Did you? Was there a lot of anxiety? Is everybody sort of like very anxious to hear the tape the first time around?
Oh yeah, after the gig, like all the people from the bar and some friends and stuff, they all, you know, we all listened back to the tape and everybody was dancing the night away.
All right.
Yeah.
Rockers in Canada, oh, what's been taking so long? Rockers in Canada, oh, you can feel the music strong. Rockers in Canada, oh, it's your turn, so let's dance. Rockers in Canada, oh, this might be your only chance to tell you music. Rockers in Canada, oh. Rockers in Canada, oh. feel the music's tough. Rockers in Canada, oh, it's your turn, so let's dance. Rockers in Canada, oh, this might be your only chance, sir. Toronto, oh, Toronto, oh, Toronto, listen what I'm saying, Toronto, Toronto, special people rising, Toronto, the president, Toronto, Toronto,
Do you get critical? Do you take a show apart after you've done it?
We do. Yeah, we're always trying to make it better. Like, we're a new band, so we're just trying to make things better all the time. And it's, you know, everybody's into it to the degree in this band. You know, it's not a two-man band or a one-man band. It's a six-piece. Everybody's putting ideas into it and working just as hard. I think that's why it's working nicely. We're all enjoying it, you know.
What we find important in the show, after the show, we measure the amount of vibration which came over to the crowd. You know, if the crowd enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it. You know, we usually have such a good time on stage that you know.
You know what I'm noticing though, that this is an infectious sort of thing, that people can't stop themselves from dancing because you guys move. You know, and it's quite obvious that you're having a good time, so it's really difficult. I think it would be really difficult for anybody to say, no, I'm not going to dance, I'm not going to get up there and have a good time as well.
That's our only message, really. As you know, this kind of music, ska, there's no, well, our side of it's not political, it's just, you know, dance music, you know. That's all we like doing, playing and dancing, you know, and having a good time.
There are people on the island who would turn ska music into a political force.
Yeah, that's more reggae music. You know, a lot of that is more political. You know, and some of the ska bands in England, you know, as you know, they move towards political stuff. We're in Canada. There's nothing to be political with that. We're glad to be here.
Not a thing, Steve.
Seriously, we're glad to be here and just, you know. And if people can enjoy the music, that's good enough, you know.
I think that's what music is to do too. I think it's fine if people have opinions, etc., then stand up and get a little podium, and that's great. But I think if I come out to be entertained musically, that's what I want. I don't want anybody hyping me on.
That's the idea, you know. You find that a lot of people come here to check us out. People with different backgrounds, heavy metal people even.
Yeah.
They get up and dance, skank away, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just the people who are familiar with ska music, it's a lot of new people coming to the band and checking it out, because Rude Boy is, you know, it's infectious, like you said before.
I think so. I've been very impressed with the Rockers of Canada tune.
Oh, yeah.
The Time, what is it, Time Tough?
Time Tough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the material we do is original bar, 2 covers, you know. there's 3 or 4 villains tunes which are my tunes, and we've reshaped them a little bit and mucked around with them. But all the rest it's all original material, you know.
Was there a great falling out? I mean, everybody. I really hate to get right to the center of this issue. Was there a great falling out with the villains? I mean, here you are, the lead singer and kind of the organizer behind that outfit, and all of a sudden the villains, the rest of them go their way and you go yours.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems. Most of it was due to the management rather than within the band, you know.
Yeah.
It was disagreements between the management, and, you know, there was a lot of things happening, and I imagine most of it's best left unsaid, you know.
So, but the bottom line is that you guys this time are going to do it on your own. You don't you're not predominantly top heavy with management.
No, we're not. We've got no management. We're doing it all on our own, you know. So far we've got work up until July, and we're just having a great time. We can do it ourselves, I know. You know, we're loading equipment ourselves a lot, but you know, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's important too. You guys load in and load out. You don't have roadies that you've all got biceps like it's going out of style, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's the way we're keeping it. We're doing what we want to do. We've got no one else telling us, well, look, you know, you should change this a little bit, change this music, or, you know, do this, do that. We're doing what we want to do, and we've all had enough experience, especially myself and Jack, in the business. We've been in lots of different bands here and in Europe and what have you, that we've been around a bit and we've got a bit of a grasp on it now, you know.
I'm really pleased that you've decided to choose Canada as a place for this experiment to happen, because it is radical in terms of the way people normally go about putting a band together. Not necessarily in terms of time, because I think more people have got that idea. Let's do it ourselves as opposed to get a management company to.
Yeah. Well, there's so many bad managers around, and unfortunately, you know, true, yeah. You don't find out until you've been with them for a while. You know, you think, hey, where's my money gone? You know, we're still penniless. You know,
Happens like this all the time in Europe, though, isn't it?
Sure, it does.
Like bands bring out their own label,
Yep.
you know, do their own stuff, their own equipment, shipping your own shit. You know, it's much better.
Well, I'm really pleased to have you guys in Canada, and I'm sure you are too. I wish you the best of luck with your tour. When do you figure that tour will bring you back into Toronto?
We'll be back in the Toronto area hopefully around July time, approximately. We'll be playing here for probably 2 or 3 weeks again, you know.
And as you and I discussed the other day, that's probably the best time to go windsurfing. Count Steve and I are going to do some windsurfing when he comes back, right?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, I'm looking. Hey, don't drown. No, he's a very valuable man.
You can't swim, you see.
Neither can I. It's been a pleasure, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was an old sailor who sat on a rock, waving and shaking his big hairy fist at the ladies next door at the Ritz, who taught the young girls to play with their ice creams and marbles and all things galore. Along comes a lady, she looks like a decent young woman who walks like a duck. She says she's invented a new way to bring up the children, to sew and to knit. The boys in the stable are shoveling litter and ice cream from yesterday's hunt. An old dirty dick, he's having some cake in the parlour and singing this song. If you think it's dirty, you're bloody well wrong. nice girl with plenty of class, who turned the boy's head when she wiggled her eyes at the young boys, as girls sometimes do. To make it quite plain, she was ready to go for a walk or a stroll in the grass and hurry back home for a nice piece of chicken and ice cream from yesterday's hunt. An old dirty Dick, he wanted some cake in the parlour and singing this song. If you think it's dirty, you're bloody well wrong.
Cha-cha-cha! And now you know why they're called Rude Boy. That's the dirty song, and we also played Rockers and Time Tough from not a bad tape off the floor, I thought. Rude Boy, we spoke with Count Steve and Jack, or Jacko, and they're our first guests on Who's Who this afternoon. We'll move right along to a conversation we had with the members of
sailor who sat on a rock, waving and shaking his big hairy fist at the ladies next door at the Ritz, who taught the young girls to play with their ice creams and marbles and all things galore. Along comes this lady, she looks like a decent young woman who walks like a duck. She said she's invented a new way to bring up the children, to sew and to knit. The boys in the stable are shoveling litter and paper from yesterday's hunt. Then old dirty Dick was having some cake in the parlour and singing this song. If you think it's dirty, you're bloody well wrong. Heads when she wiggled her eyes at the young boys, as girls sometimes do. To make it quite plain, she was ready to go for a walk or a stroll in the grass, then hurry back home for a nice piece of chicken and ice cream with lots of roast duck. Then after this meal, she was ready to go for a walk or stroll on the dock with any young boy with a sizable roll of big bills and a pretty good front. And if he talked softly, she'd show him a little pet duck who's subject to fits, and maybe let him grab a hold of her little white hand with a movement so quick, and she would lean over and tickle his chin while she showed what she once learned in France, then asked the poor chap to take off his underpants while she sang of the wild English shore. Whatever she was, she wasn't a bad girl really. I've had better, mind you, but she was pretty tasty. Don't tell the wife, but oh God, talk the devil, here she comes. Oh well, see you later. Viva España.